Welcome back to another installment of Diametric Convergence. Back again, another week, another episode, another show. Got a good one. Just as a reminder to people who might be new, my name is Andrew, and as usual, co-host Brandon is here with us.
Thank you all for joining us once again. I hope you enjoy this amazing conversation with Anderson Debernardi. It was a little different style this time, but I feel it's a great conversation, a great uh, insight into what he's doing in life. And if you love our cover art, that is his painting. So please enjoy.
Yeah, so we got a chance to have him sit down. That was a pretty cool conversation we got to have with him too. Like Brennan said, we did have to do a little bit different, bit of a language barrier there. I don't know how used or how familiar he is with the podcast format, but we had to kind of basically let him go and do his talking because, man, this guy can talk. You'll see. But want to just kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on and who this is. If you've never heard of Anderson Debernardi before, go ahead and Google him. Great artist. Spells last name Debernardi. You can find him on the internet. He does what is it? It's a
Visionary art.
Visionary artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out of Peru.
Yeah, so it's similar to Alex Gray and Android Jones.
Right.
They're a little bit different, and I wouldn't say they're the same, but it's under the class of visionary art.
Yeah, definitely. And so there are some, like I said, English definitely not his first language. Obviously, being born in Peru and living in the Amazon, might be points where it's kind of hard to hear him, which are even not hard to hear him, definitely not hard to hear him, but hard to understand just because of the accent. But we'll try to come back after you listen and kind of review and recap about everything going on, what he talked about. He does drop some names of different artists, so listen for that. Maybe write those down because he does talk about some other visionary artists in there that he learned from, which was very cool. I definitely wrote some of those names down. So
yeah, and
them up later.
Just as a background of what visionary art is, I'm just kind of reading it off the internet, but it transcends the physical world and portray a wider vision of awareness, including spiritual or mystical themes, or is based in such experiences. So if you've never seen it, check it out. It's very colorful and vibrant.
Yeah, very good stuff. And again, he is the artist behind our cover. So big props to him for hooking us up with that. Very awesome art.
Yeah. I've when I first met him, it was here at the Scarlet in Central City, and he was one of the first guests we had there. It was even before the first page show, which was Random Rab, and I had the ability and the honor to take him around and show him Denver, and we took him to Lookout Mountain and took him to Red Rocks, and in the middle of the woods, and he really loved it, and we had a great time. And at the end of it, he ended up hooking me and Chris up with an amazing piece that we got to choose from, and he signed it on the back and wrote with love and all of that. And as I talk about in the podcast with him, that it's one of my most prized possessions, and it's really neat to see and have, and definitely in different mind states too. You can look at these paintings and and see a different world.
Yeah, because what his like a lot of his inspiration come not well, yeah, inspiration and visions. You're speaking in terms of a visionary artist is gets his visions from ayahuasca, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and I think what he's saying there. I think if he, it's kind of hard to hear. It may be kind of hard to pull up. I think he said he's done like ayahuasca how many times? Like what did he say? 50,
57 or
54,
so. Yeah,
57.
I
Yeah,
didn't write it down, but an incredible amount of time.
yeah,
Uh,
so many times. But like I mean, that's it's almost like his job to do that because that's what his art is. That's where it's born. Like that's where it comes from.
yeah.
But he does it. But he said he did it so many different times just because he wanted to do it in these different places that have different vibrations and different like energies, like just to be able to feel these other places and
Hmm.
connect with these other locations. Like that's why he was doing it just as many times as he was, not only to get the visions but to kind of expand. I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool. I mean, it definitely is an incredible number,
Hmm.
but I couldn't see why he was doing as
What
much
he's
as he
doing.
was.
Yeah, at a young age,
Like,
right?
yeah, and it definitely comes through in the art for sure.
Yeah, and did you catch the part? I don't want to give too much away, but um, he basically said that his mom did ayahuasca when she was
Hmm.
pregnant,
Yeah,
and
that was amazing.
that's good to hear from him, and it's an amazing story. I don't
Yeah,
condone it, but who knows? There might be something to that. You might want to look deeper into that.
yeah. I mean, look at him. He's like, he's I don't know. He's I don't want to say normal. He's definitely not like altered or any different because of it.
No,
I
he's
mean, he's
good.
fine just like physically and everything. Like
Mhm.
his English is pretty good. I mean, it's really good actually considering the fact.
Yeah.
And so there's doesn't seem to have any didn't seem to have any adverse effects on this time. Obviously, we don't know the full extent of what it can do in any given situation, but
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
just say,
it was an interesting point.
and I would just say, look into it for yourself and see if it's
Yeah,
something your heart desires.
absolutely.
No one can tell you to do that or not. And if you do choose to do it, be sure to find uh, a well trusted shaman and do it maybe with a friend, just to ensure your safety.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think that last point before we let you guys listen to it. I think that was one of the first things we kind of talked about. Though was it about like having like a someone who knows what they're doing
Hmm.
be present. So yeah, definitely if you're gonna if it's I as far as I've understood and heard, it's quite an experience. Especially if you can go down into like the Amazon and do it like for real like that, that would be amazing. So
Hmm.
without I guess any further ado, we'll let you guys get into it. We'll kind of play, kind of just starts talking, so we had to capture him. So here we go. Give it a listen. Stick around for afterwards. We'll be back to wrap up and kind of talk about next week's show.
Interview is talking with you. So, yeah,
Well, thank you so much for being with us, Andy.
yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm ready to your question. I'm ready to you're talking about me, my works, all my experience as an artist. So I think it's a good chance now to have this my first American friend. We are just making this one. So
Mhm. Absolutely.
before I didn't make anything yet to anyone. So
Okay.
okay, let's go. What happened? Let's see what happened now.
So
Yeah.
basically, I want to know where you're from and basically, who are you and where were you born, where you grew up?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Um, well, I'm a guy who get born in the Amazon region. I belong to Loreto region, which is in the heart of the Amazons, and part of my life, I grew up in a small village, the name's Orellana village, just located in the Ucayali River. And I spent my time my first childhood was there from 1 to when I get born until 5 years. Then I went to live to Iquitos, which is the first big one city of the Amazons, And when I was 11 years, I went to live to Pucallpa when my parents moved there. Since from there, I was just traveling around the world. So current
Wow.
days, I am living in Pucallpa. It's another, the second biggest city in the Amazon. So which is connected with all different, by overland is connected with the capital, Lima, and yeah, by river is connected to all different small cities, big cities, until the Atlantic Ocean, That's go because Amazon, Cayali, Amazon, and goes until the Atlantic Ocean. So
Okay.
yeah, basically, I am a guy from the Amazon. And what do I do? Well, I am rainforest and visionary artist. All my time, I was dedicated to the art production. So during my time, the first year when I was spending in the high school, I was quite a gift guy because for me it was easy, all related to the art.
Yeah.
And I was the number one in different competitions around the high schools, primary schools, And even when I was in the fine arts school, also I was the first one. So
That's incredible.
and I have such amazing teachers that show me how one can be the first one and the best. Sometimes
Yeah.
one can be worse also. Yeah, and especially when one is young, we are quite rebel in certain ways. But sometimes we are rebel for something positive because we need to learn always the best and we need to receive always the best. If you
Yeah.
don't, that is the problem. And I have a problem also with my male mentor, Pablo Amaringo, with that thing. So basically, that is something around about me, as a peasant. Respect to my career as a painter, yes, I prefer to make my own styles, related to the Amazon rainforest because, as a guy from the Amazon rainforest, we have such a connection with the natural things
Right.
because from we grow up in middle of the river, in middle of the animals, in middle of the, overabundant vegetation, vegetable trees, animals, wild, domestic. So we have such amazing roots that we cannot forget forever.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Knowing the raining, the stormy, the wind, the hurricane storms, oh, the coldness, the sunny, the sunset, the morning, all the mist morning. So that's it make great mind impressions.
And
So you
yeah.
can grow with all this feeling in your cells, inside you, in your eyes. So
Wow.
for me, it was great to have this childhood in middle of the forest and overabundance green colors and and such a nice people. Talking about my grandma, my mom, my families, my friends, they were quite inspirational beings in my life. So my dad is still my dad is still almost 80 years old and still he's a fisherman. But before he was like a hunter, he was like a farmer, fisher right now, and working for an international company as a boss also. So that gave me all different layers of this, how to grow in different layers and how to feel
Yep.
of different things about the environment. So for me, when I have the chance to begin to paint, that was a good point for me respect to who was my teacher for that, well, I'm quite honored to mention to Pablo Amaringo. Pablo Amaringo was quite successful and quite famous visionary artist who create all this movement of the visionary art under ayahuasca inspiration. Because before to be an artist, he was a farmer, he was a fisher, like normal people, and in their young life. So, but as he began to be an artist, he began to create different portraits, landscape. Even he was making some illegal money also in a certain moment. For that reason, he went to the jails 1 or 2 times.
Wow.
But all of that experience um, produced in him the opportunity to be so creative. So, in the time comes for some groups of anthropologists like Jenny McKenna, Luis Eduardo Luna, and another anthropology, they were specific researching about the entheogenic plants in the Amazon from the North Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia, and part of Brazil also. So when they were inquiring, wow, what are you doing here? And Pablo make a question to them. Luis Eduardo Luna said, oh, we're just trying to understand more to the shamans of the Amazon because they are using a certain entheogenic and hallucinogenic plant, which is ayahuasca. In Colombia, the people call yahe. And we're just trying to understand and feel how they work with that and how it produces in the body. And, we are just trying to understand all of this to make, you know. So
Yeah.
in that point, he said, oh, it's a pity that I cannot help you because in my time when I was shaman, I would like totally to help you. But in case you want, I can paint. You can paint it.
Yeah.
Okay, paint it, said Dr. Luis Eduardo Luna to him. And he painted. In a week, they come back and they saw these amazing paintings about the visionary elements, the shape, colors, and all these elements, and all this specific description that he did. Oh my goodness, that was a great open door for a new style. Because until that moment, most of the artists, they were just advocated to the impressionist, hyper realism, indigenous styles, something
Yeah.
common like in that moment. So but after this open opportunity to him, oh my goodness, all this movement of the visionary art under ayahuasca inspiration just was a boom. And until now, it's quite successful style because around the world, a lot of people in different layers, they are just awakening after being connected with the medicine, with their ancestors. Yeah, we are just reconnecting with our ancestral medicine. So that is a big movement right now in the Amazon and also around the world. So in that respect, he began to create also a school who was Ushuaia Amazonian School of Painting. I was one of the first 10 students that he taught straightly. He was our mentor personally. Day and night he was with us. Sometimes he was kicking our butts and saying, go, go, go. So I was so quite privileged to have all this time, and I went to live with him in his home, with his mom, with his family, as part of the house, of the home. Yeah,
Wow.
I spent 7 years in his school. In that time, Pablo, he was just only permitted to paint visionary art, not the student, because for us, we were so young in this moment. He was always saying to us, it's quite dangerous to drink ayahuasca. So in that time, I just learned to be a rainforest artist for 7 years. But 6 years after I left the school, I began to drink ayahuasca under Luis Eduardo Luna, the same guy who said to Pablo Amaringo, paint a vision under your experience of ayahuasca. So he told me, drink ayahuasca and you will paint beautiful painting because we already know you rainforest painting. Why not to send all this energy to the visionary creations? And
Yeah.
we don't worry about the ayahuasca or you budget to go to fly. We are going to pay all your traveling ticket, all your drinking. Even we are putting famous visionary artists like Alice Gray or Robert Benoza, Martina Ockman, all of these such amazing visionary artists. In that moment, I was just rainforest artist, nothing to do with the ayahuasca experience. Yeah, after 6 years, we reconnect with this Luis Eduardo Luna, and then I began to drink ayahuasca. And 5 years later, I began to paint visionary artists. And 10 years later, until now, I am still under process, so people can share my art into the my ayahuasca experience. So respect my style. I prefer to say that I am now rainforest and visionary artist under ayahuasca inspiration.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about Pablo Amaringo. Oh man, Pablo Amaringo was the most kindly and sweet guy, and he was considered a super pedagogue by the Herald newspaper from Miami.
What'd
The,
you say? A
he
super.
was a super pedagogue.
Okay. And what is that?
And that is a newspaper from Miami
Okay.
because yeah, he was just growing up as a visionary artist and as a teacher also because his school, Ushuaia Armazones School of Painting, was quite successful. A school having successful exhibitions, presentation in different parts around the world. And yeah, many galleries were open to show their works, and support this project because this project it was just to support the humble people, especially the young people. They don't have resources to spend, buying brushes or paying the studies. I
Yeah.
was I was one of these projects that was quite successful. I am the result of this project. Yeah, and Pablo was the teacher, the mainly mentor and director of this project. So that's what I said sometimes in a joke that I was one of his best and one of his worst students also in that moment. So yeah, and many people say, "How is that?" Well, I'm on the more rebels. He also
Right.
and Pablo was okay with me because of course he keep my butt many times from the school. I was ready also to get out of the school, but Pablo said, "Come on, Ali, you are
Well,
good, you are good to be here." So anyway,
I
so
I
at the
feel
end,
when you're
sorry.
so passionate about something, sometimes you can be the best and worst student because you're always trying to perfect everything you do.
But yeah, of course, we need the best from our teacher. Sometimes the teacher they are quite lazy to teach you. They want for
Yeah.
you to teach, yeah, but sometimes they have some certain egoism or certain jealousy, about yourself, about the student also. That happened with Pablo, when I was quite successful student, he always refused me to teach personally, because he was just trying to see other student who was more less than me or more low skill than me. But I was always trying to get up, and always wanted to be the first.
Yeah.
But in that respect, Pablo always he was just trying to push all together. But sometimes you need to go as according to the skills of each one person because each one person we have different education and different skills. So we need to be treated in different levels, not the same as normal can be. But in my respect, I was already to go according to Pablo's, even if he didn't teach me later, but I still was growing personally because that was my naturally. According to the other student, Most of them, they are gone, and the next another generation of students, they are still going. Like Alfredo Sagaceta, like Mauro Reategui, like you know, uh, like
You,
Dennis Regifo. What?
I said, and like you.
Well, I didn't say they are like me, but they are quite nice in their style.
No, no,
Because
I'm saying that you're still going.
I'm still going. They are
And
still going because to be an artist is a long process. It's not just to say, I already paint, that is it. No, we just need to be related to grow according to the environment, according to the necessities of the people, because now most of the people is quite dedicated to understand this ayahuasca conscious connections, with all this entheogenic medicine that produce altered conscious in our brain. And most of them, they have talent for other things, but sometimes they don't have talent to paint, even to draw. So in that respect, our work as an artist, we are just there for that, like the musician. I am not good with the music or with some guitar or some flute or create some poem or some description about that, but I'm quite talented to make a photo memory of my experience and bring into my painting. Yeah, in that respect, yeah, we are just trying to be like Pablo. He has a lot of photo memory, also respect to his experience. So when you see Ayahuasca Vision writing by Luis Eduardo Luna and Pablo Amerigo, you will see all his first painting, all the history around that. So yeah, you can get, I think, in Amazon.com. I see you can get some copies of that. For us, it's like a Bible, because that is very 100% made by arms. It's not making but it's more graphics. It's not like so quite detailed painting, but you can see the rhythm, the color, the balance, the harmony, the composition, which is nice, quite acceptable in the all the community of ayahuasqueros. So for me, it was a great chance. 7 years spending in his studio, 7 years trying to tolerate him and his projects, 7 years working hard in for seeing all the people growing up together with this project. So after that, I left the school. I think it was for me. I feel so satisfied because I was quite dedicated to the project. At the end, Pablo recognized me as the best student what he has. Yeah. Okay.
wow.
How long have I was been painting? Well, for be honest, I am 52. I think 35 years old. I am just living as an artist. It's quite difficult to live as an artist in these times. You need to make different things to survive as a person. So, but to live of the art, you need to be so skilled and so quiet. I remember sometime when Luis Eduardo Luna said to me, it's not only enough to paint beautiful. Also, it's quite the most important in this life of the art is just to have connections. So, and for connection, you need to learn English. Probably our connection now won't be possible if we don't speak English. And thanks to Pablo and his project and his intentions, he just taught English to all his students, and all his students are are connected with the world now because they speak English also. Yeah, and yeah, 35 years gave me all different opportunity to make different connection with different kind of people. My first circle or community was more in diplomatic. because I was connected with scientific, with politicians, I was working for different projects of the development sustainable in the Amazon, for United Nations projects, as illustrator of different rainforest levels. So for me, it was great opportunity to work with Finnish embassy, who was looking or researching different projects in the Amazon, like between Turku University and San Marco University with Peru, a biodamas project. I was there working for Dr. Yuka Salo, making like illustrator, and yeah, it was a great chance for me to be connected with all the scientific, and they make a book who was he was giving to all the diplomatic office in Peru. So yeah, after I worked for some private collectors, making murals for the Finnish government, I made 16 murals for the Finnish government in that time when I was a student. So yeah, and until now, I am working for all the people related to the ayahuasca community who makes some medicinal connection. Yeah.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, how was my inspiration to paint? Wow. As I say at the beginning, okay, to be a rainforest artist for me more easy because I'm quite advocated to the rainforest art and their preservation. That is my main issue of respect. Why I paint rainforest? Because rainforest, like another environment around the world, is the most how do you call it, sensible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's the most sensible environment that can be destroyed quickly. So it can disappear quickly also. In fact, there are many different problems related to that because no people can understand still that our forest is quite important for our own surviving. If disappear our Amazon rainforest, the people can be carrying kilometers of primary rainforest. Oh my goodness,
Mm-hmm.
that is enormous damage to the environment, especially to the local people who grow up around this rainforest. And a lot of
Yeah.
species can be disappear, and the environment can be polluted and destroyed totally. So
Wow.
that was my first intention when I began to work with this diplomatic or different uh, projects related to the environments in the Amazon. So, but after when I went through to the entheogenic experience, drinking ayahuasca, that gave me another angle, another level of this process because that was my reconnection with the medicines, uh, with my ancestor medicines. Because before I get born, my mom just when she was having me in pregnancy still, she drink ayahuasca. I knew after. I knew after that history because when my
Wow.
dad was sick, he went to see this shaman. His name is Nunta in Ucayali River. He was a Shipibo shaman. And when my dad was drinking, he make a question to the shaman, say if his wife can drink. He said, yes, he can drink. She
Mm-hmm.
can drink. Yeah, if the baby can born and he will be so healthy and very strong and smart. Don't worry about it. She can drink it. My mom drink, and I think now we know that all the mom is connected, even if we are inside the belly.
Yeah.
So to drink again when I was almost 25 years old, I see it was my second connection. That makes sense why I am quite sensible to the medicine now. So is that the reason why I began to have my inspiration so quite prolific gift that ayahuasca gave me in my experience. Until now I was drinking 56 times 56 times that I made in different locations, Brazil, Peru, cities like Iquitos, Pucallpa, Cusco, Lima. I was just drinking different locations. All different locations had different vibrations. So yeah, Cusco is more high vibration than Iquitos and Pucallpa. So I have all this opportunity to have this experience that makes me quite lucky guy, which is now I am sharing with the people. And yeah, respect what is it like teaching people to paint. I think it's nice to be a bridge between the experience and the talent, you know.
Mm.
I'll be grateful to have the opportunity to play guitar. I won't go to some commercial guy to teach me how to play guitar, but I can go to some musician who play guitar. That'll be the exactly person that could be making how to play guitar. So I think the artist or the people with experience is the bridge between the knowledge and the quiet knowledge thing. So I think for me to teach the people to paint is just to help them to find their own roots. It's just to find out connection with the environment, with their belief, with their feeling, with their ancestor. So everyone is quite well known that everyone has the aesthetic, uh, the aesthetic point in her brain. Because in your
Mhm.
fashion, you can choose what color, what kind of shape you want to wear.
Mm.
So in that respect, it's quite well known now that people can be anyone potentially an artist. So people they are just afraid or they don't have some stimulation how to go through to the layers to paint or to draw. So for as an artist, I'm quite satisfied when I have opportunity to share with people how go into the process of creativity and yeah and what is important to remember when we teach to the people to paint. The important for me is just the love, passion, and the passion. Knowing or knowledge you can have with experience in the time. In the meantime, you are learning, you are going to study this because for me, all the sciences come to the art because the mathematic, scientific, or any scientific can just to show all their theories, they can show to the people how to describe. So they need about a figure or some equation or some demonstration how to do it. That depends. If the people make a line, that is the art, that is the aesthetic, because you are just writing, you are just drawing, you know, imparting values, imparting. Oh,
Yeah, that's okay.
yeah, okay. Now it's uh, yeah, and yeah, for me, it's quite important to be a bridge between these. So I think it's important to have love in your heart. You know, it's not just easy. Even the passion. People doesn't have passion to be an artist. To be an artist, you need to have this as a virtue because as a
Mm.
virtue, you know, you need to to process inside your heart, inside your brain, how it goes. The art doesn't
Yeah.
go like explosion. That is it. The art is there, and the as a science also has a law, has a rules. So for that to understand all of this, you need to go through with all the passion, with all the humble, and with all the open heart to learn how to do it. The artist or the teacher, an art teacher, just can help how to do this. It's like Miguel Angelo said in a certain moment that the artist is the confidant of the natural. So it has sense for me because one is confident of all this you know, they hide in mathematics, they hide in geometry, they hide in physics, they hide in the study of different things. When one paint rainforest, we need to paint also something what you know, it's not just to paint some trees. Normally when I paint my thing, I need to know something about botanical. I need to know all the different layers of the rainforest into the forest. So how many layers has some trees? You know, for me, a tree is like five different apartments, and all different people live in all these animals. You know, people who live down, middle, and canopy, they have different levels
Mm.
of life. So one need to know all of that. If you make some portrait, you need to make about the anthropologies, and if you make some birds, you need to know about the ornithologist, I think. Yeah, about the
I
different kind of birds. Yeah, I
yeah.
work all of this. I was with James Clement, with Noam Chani, all different ornithologists. So I know how to do that. So even with botanical, ethnobotanical people. And yeah, especially when I work with people with very quite related to the science and like anthropology or biologists. Oh my goodness, that is very hard work. They
Mm.
need really so exactly information. Yeah, and
Incredible.
what do I take out of teaching? A grant I can take out a great chance to show to the people that he can be an amazing art expression of creativity. Yeah, every people is just can be amazing. Only people just needs to discover that you can be able to do. Like happened to me. In the certain moment, someone had taught to me that I can be a very, very nice artist. Ah, really? Do you think that I can be a nice artist? Yeah, because he saw to me that I was quite skilled doing my sketch, doing my publicity. That was in the high school. When he saw my works, oh my goodness, what is this publicity? Oh, and you can be an artist. An artist. Well, in that moment, I was teenager, and I was quite, what, really? So for me, it was just a hobby, to draw. But as soon this teacher told me that I can be an artist, my completely mind and feelings and dreams just changed. After that, I began to believe that I can be an artist. 35 years until now, I consider still that I am still artist, and yeah, and still keep going to believe that I am an artist. That's what I am doing, my friend.
I love it. That sounds like a great life to live and a great journey.
Well,
Absolutely.
this journey has up and down situations. It's not always like a line, straight line. No, sometimes the situation of the artist, especially for the artist, sometimes we are up, we are down, we are up, middle, down.
Mm.
That is a
Oh
life
yeah.
like normal people do. I think as another profession, also another career to go. I think we are always expecting have successful in our career that we are doing. That is most of the people are doing their career and their skills. So yeah, and for me, it's a pleasure to share with people my art because I'm quite advocated to my continue my rainforest painting, my visionary art. So I'm just quite inviting to the people to be connected with my art because when you see my art, when the people can see my art, they can see the rainforest portrait really because I don't paint with just commercial thing. I paint with love, with passion, with studies,
It
and
shows.
yeah, and people they can be plugged in my paintings. So sometimes I found people in front of my visionary paintings. I found people crying.
Oh yes,
So
I
yeah,
have.
especially when I go to festivals, outside trans festival, people just different level go there, and I saw people just crying. So when I said that I am the artist, oh my goodness, they just come and cry in my arms. So
That must that must be an incredible feeling. And I tell
Yeah,
you, your art has inspired me many times over again, and I'm honored to have a little bit on my wall right now, and I just look at it every day and get inspired with a new idea, a new belief, and there's so much to see. And also, sometimes when I look at your art, it literally moves off the page. So how do you get it to move off the page like that?
yeah. It's just time and experience, man. And love and passion.
Yeah,
With the time, the master is turning to be with the time,
yeah,
and 30, 35 years as an artist gave me a lot of experience, a lot of study of the issues. So, yeah, for me, it's a great pleasure to do for the people. Right now, I have 5 commissions. I'm coming a new order commission the next week. So even in this pandemic situation, wow, the people were the most hit group in all around the world because we are just traveling around the world in different festivals, seminar, medicine festival, but all this pandemic just shut down our trips, our all our dreams. It just shut down. So I
Mm,
think,
that's
um,
terrible.
yeah, we need to move in other ways. It's not an end, it's just this time. So all our festivals in Europe, it was changing for the next year. So yeah, just be patient and just keep attending all the authorities' recommendation about this emergency. So yeah, and we need to be connected via WhatsApp or via this net media. So I think it's a great chance to continue doing. Otherwise, we are gone.
Mm,
Yeah, and even some of our as an artist, we didn't receive nothing from the government. So we're just making all the possible to survive. And
Right.
thanks to all people that was supporting me by my prints, making commissions, recommending to other ones, sharing their posting. I think I really appreciate all this supporting and helping other people. So especially for my community, for my friendships. So yeah,
I appreciate it too.
we need to thank to you, man. Thank to you to make possible this podcast right now. So I think we can share all this experience with all the people. So anytime I
Yes.
come to United States, for sure, I would like to come to Denver and say hello again and give a very hug embrace to you, man.
Yes,
And
Andy.
have some divine massage for you. You're quite skilled doing this massage. Yeah, we can make it
Oh,
great.
you.
We can make it great, man.
There
Oh,
you go.
well, any
There
day.
you
We
go.
we
We like
already
trades around here.
yes, and we already have, and I have a piece from you that was a gift, and that's one of my most prized possessions, and I'll never let it go. It's always going to be with me, and um,
Oh
you
dear,
know,
thank you for that. Thank you for
yeah,
that. The time when I was all the group in Denver, oh my goodness, I never will forget.
yes.
Um, yeah, that is a lie. Keep walking, my friend. Let's keep
Thank,
walking.
thank you, Andy. Thank you so much, and
Oh
you
dear.
too, you too, and maybe someday I'll be able to, you know, draw a corner of what you paint, and that will be very fulfilling for me.
Okay, maybe someday you will come to the Amazon. I will be honored to bring you to some ayahuasca. You will just and have your experience about ayahuasca. Why not?
Well, that would be an honor, Andy, and I will definitely make that happen.
Yeah, anytime you are able, just let me know, my friend. So
Maybe me and Andrew can go together or something.
You know, we can make
yeah,
a work trip.
Yeah,
yeah,
Andy,
yep.
Andrew, I
We'll
grew
do
up
some.
with
We'll do
Andrew.
it on. We'll do an all on location. Be on location podcast.
Yeah, I know all the
I
location.
would
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Brandon, tell me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I grew up with Andrew. We've known each other since we've been in third grade, and it would be really
You
cool
mean
to
with
do.
Andrew and
Yeah.
Alice Gray? Did you know that?
Say that again.
No. What did you grow with? What did you say?
Andrew, my co-host, the guy that's
Me.
talking now.
That's
Yeah,
me.
Ah, Andrew. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, man. I was thinking Andrew Jones. Okay. All right.
Andrew,
Okay.
he's amazing too.
Okay. I would like to see under ayahuasca trip.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
he will do someday. Yeah.
So
Okay.
if we take a if we take a trip, Andy, would we have to like go in a boat and to like a different part of, or how would that work?
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Let me know. And yeah, I
Okay.
will go together. You cannot go walk alone. You can go with me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And I'm wondering, how can people help you right now? And, where can people buy your paintings? And what's the best way for people to contact you to do that?
Well, people can contact me at anddm2415 arroba gmail.com. That is the most. Right now, my website is shut down for certain reasons. It was not my fault. It was my web designer who is somewhere around Colombia, missed somewhere with this quarantine or lockdown. It just took him somewhere. He cannot be in the um, in the internet, technology. So yeah, he couldn't
Okay.
make any payment, and he knows all the key, all the password, all the things to pay. So I'm just waiting for him. But for now, I am just sending information. People can find to me in Facebook like Anderson Debernardi, and yeah, and Instagram also people can reach me there, and I just reply immediately all any questions. So respect to the prices, the sizes. Yeah, I will really appreciate you supporting, because in this pandemic is for us is quite bad. Yeah, for us it's quite opportunity, and yeah, to make this for now. Yeah, but I hope soon my website can be fixed, and again will be available and making payment via PayPal. But for now, people will just pay me via Western Union or via bank transfer, and after I am shipping the paintings straight to the address that they show me. Yeah.
Cool. And
Cool.
yeah, it was really easy to do that online. At first, I thought it was going to be hard, but it ended up really easy.
It's very
And
easy, yeah. And people just make a question and just send the details. Oh, okay, let me think about. And they come back, okay, I already decided. Okay, yeah, they send the money via Western Union. That is all.
yeah, and I do want to thank you again for giving us the opportunity to use your art on our cover. It's an incredible honor, and I really appreciate that from you.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
yes,
Thank you
thank you
so
for
much
that.
for your helping. Thank you so much, really. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, man. See, anyways, well, I won't, yeah, I will be available for all the time. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on, Andy. Uh,
Oh, dear. Thank you for this opportunity. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Brandon.
Yep. Thank you very much. We really
and
Oh,
appreciate your
hope
man.
input.
This is more, yeah. Okay.
and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, then.
Well, I'll talk to you soon, Andy. Thank you so much, and you have a great day. Be safe out there, and please, everyone, reach out to Andy. We'll add the links in the description, and we thank you for listening.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your time for this interview. All right. Thank
Okay,
you.
Andy,
No
have
problem.
a great one.
Okay, man. Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Wow. What an incredible conversation. I guess that was, if you want to call it a conversation. He definitely um talked a lot. It was kind of funny. The funniest part I think is just him interviewing himself. That was unexpected.
Yeah, totally. And what an amazing honor to have him on, and I think it was really great to send him over those questions early, and he can kind of read them. So maybe it was easier to understand the reading, and he just flew through them, and it was really cool to hear all about him.
Yeah. Yep. What a journey that guy's been on. That was just an incredible thing to sit there and listen to,
Yeah,
um, and just hear about his perspective and just just let him talk. I could definitely, I think, wasn't the way we had planned on going about having him on, but I think it worked out great. Just having him talk and just being able to listen, I think, was probably the best way we could have done it.
yeah, yeah, and he even got into how people are being hit really hard where he's from in Lima, Peru, and or where he's living currently. And yeah, I it's good to hear that perspective. And I hope people can help him even more, and and anybody around there, because he said there's not much help, there's not much government help. So anything we
Right.
can do to send them love is worthwhile.
Yeah. One of the um, more interesting things, I don't know if this is part of the language barrier or just him not knowing the words, but how he referred to himself as a peasant.
Is
That's
that what he was
definitely a
saying?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I think he's just mainly saying he came from came from the streets.
Right. And I figured that's something like, lower class or whatever you wanted to I want to call it. But I just thought it was interesting that he somehow came across the English translation to be peasant. It was a very interesting thing for me to hear. Like, I just,
Yeah.
no, you don't really hear that too much, especially, obviously, definitely in America, you don't hear that word being used
Mhm.
to describe oneself. Like, someone does, and, but, so many people might use it. And I'm thinking about it as kind of like an ironic thing to say or kind of trying to be funny. He's using it in a serious kind of way to describe himself. I think that's how it sounded to me.
That's a good
Maybe he was,
observation.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just interesting like cultural divide there. How he
Well, I don't see
views
him as a
himself.
peasant.
No, no,
I see him as a world-renowned artist, a visionary artist that, um, like he said in his own words, has made people cry from his art. And um,
hmm
what an incredible feeling that must be to see that and feel it.
yeah. We definitely got to do that trip though.
Yeah, yeah,
That'd be so much fun. I think we talked about doing that a
yeah,
long time ago.
yeah. I told you about it
Well, now we have
time.
a thing to go
Uh-huh.
to.
Yep. Yeah, that would be
I'm a host.
that would be fun. That would be really
Yeah. I've always actually Peru is one of the main countries in South America that I've always wanted to go to.
mm.
It's just a very very beautiful country.
Well, I'm so down, man. What
Yeah.
who better than to go to have a have a little trip with you and go see the Amazon?
Yeah. Maybe we can get our listeners to send us down there. We can do a show from Peru,
Yeah.
and while we're on some ayahuasca,
Mhm.
we can talk our way through it and share our experiences with everybody. Probably can't talk our way through it, but share our experiences before and after.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they would want us to be, you know, radio silent during but yeah,
Yep.
before and after
Oh
would
yeah.
be great to kind of see our you know see our how it worked with us.
Yeah. Because you've done ayahuasca though, right?
Yeah, yeah, I've done it twice in unknown areas.
Unknown areas, right?
Yeah. Um, both times were powerful experiences. They were both with shamans, and there was drumming, there was crystal bowls being played, there was people singing, there was people screaming, there was people shouting, there was people purging, there was
Right. Yep.
people, every emotion that's possible is within that. And one thing to note is when and if people ever do it, it stays with you for a long, long time. It's not something that you just do every day, and it's a fun thing to do. I would never recommend that. Um, and as we said before, always have someone safe that's administering it, and know where no well, excuse me, know where it's coming from.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's yeah. Those are definitely important parts for almost anything, but definitely when you're going to put something foreign into your body, know where it comes from, get it from people you trust, and be with people that you trust.
yeah. And one thing to note as well is do the cleanse that's recommended. If you ever do it, make sure you go on the fast and do the cleanse and do the things that they say, because they're saying it for a reason. and,
Right? You know.
and they're trying to purify your energy so you have a clean experience going into it.
Yep. That sounds awesome. It's something I definitely always wanted to do,
It's
and
yeah,
I will someday.
yeah. And my experiences were on more on the mild side,
Yeah.
personally. um, but it just powerful, and I learned a lot about myself, and what I was doing and thinking about people, and saw myself in different eyes, and kind of looked down at myself like Scrooge, going to his Christmas past and looking at all the bad things he did. And not that I did
Right.
any horrible things like that, but it just makes you look at everything and look at yourself, and what it is, and for who you are. And it shows that you're so much deeper than this body that we call our skin.
Yeah. It's this is just something that I think a lot of people need to do, especially nowadays, with everything going on and just how the way society has shifted. It just a lot of people need to have that experience where they're just able to look inward and kind of see themselves in a different light or different view, just to be able to kind of reconnect with the world around them or world around us, really, just everybody.
Hmm. Like the reset button.
Yeah, there you go, reset button.
Yeah,
It definitely needs to be pushed.
yeah. And there's a lady that was on Joe Rogan podcast, and I believe her name is Amber Lyons, and she has a whole experience about going down there, but she went alone and wasn't prepared and ended up not having the best experience. So, you know, I recommend checking her out and just reading through her experience before you actually do something like this.
Yeah, yeah. Do your homework. Yeah, first. Don't go into it blind and not know what's going on. Like, be aware of what you're doing, everything that goes into it, and just what it is, so that you can get the most out of the experience. It's a very powerful experience, like you said, and it just you need to be able to get the most out of it. Because if you're going to a specific place to do it, you may not know when the next time it is you can be in that same location doing that same thing. So kind of treat it as this once in a lifetime thing. So go into it knowing that so that you can try to get the most out of it.
Yeah, and don't have expectations as well, because it's
Right,
it's nothing like you think.
right. Go into it not expecting anything, and kind of just hope or expect whatever happens will happen.
Yeah,
Whatever can happen will happen,
yeah,
or supposed to happen.
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, because I believe everybody has different experiences. Like I said before, some people were crying, some people were laughing. Everyone had different emotions, and
Mm-hmm.
who knows? It might be how you live your life, your karma, or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. Uh, but everybody has different times and different challenges at different times.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing
And
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say one thing that was really interesting at my first ayahuasca experience was um, it was a place that originally had power, but right before we got there, the power shut off. And
Hmm.
uh, we were like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do? Are the bathrooms gonna work? Are we gonna be able to see? How is this gonna work?" And just kept maintaining faith that things would work out. And we were there early, so we helped kind of set things up. So they were getting ready to light a ton of candles and do all these things. They already had half of them lit, and
Yeah.
finally, the power ended up coming back on, and everybody relaxed. And it was a cool journey. They separated the men from the women in this specific time, and it was cool. Like my friend got kind of separated, so I wasn't prepared for that, but she still said she had an amazing time, and I was, with Chris.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that sounds
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, the second time was with Bradley, and that was pretty cool too.
And that was undisclosed U.S. location.
Uh, yeah, I think it was in Mars or space somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Also,
For sure.
props to SpaceX. Uh, safe journey to those two men.
Oh yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's yeah how they're doing that. What they're saying is like a whole new era in space travel now just started.
and at least it gives people hope. That's what we needed. Thank you, Elon.
Yeah,
Yeah, give people hope and make your dreams come alive. That's hope.
right.
And don't go out there and be mean to people or trash things for no reason. Definitely get out there and be safe. But don't let it get violent because that's when they're able to stop you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Everything going on. That's kind of crazy stuff too.
And I
All the
don't mean
protesting.
Yeah, and I don't mean stop them. I mean they have a right to use force, and I don't want to see that. I already, like you
No.
said, Andrew, in Fort Wayne they were protesting. I saw that someone got shot in the eye. Is that not correct?
Here?
Yes, yes. Could be
Ah,
hearsay.
maybe I don't know. I've seen like some stuff about people getting hit in the eye. I don't know if it's been here. I had I don't read that much local news.
Okay. By the time this
Um,
comes out, you might see it, or it might be something fake. Who knows? That's why we always look at every side, look at a few different sources. Andrew has his sources, I have my sources. I'm always willing to expand on that. I definitely don't like to argue and complain and have um, a whole page of uh, comments back and forth arguing. That's not my realm.
okay, so I'm looking at some stuff. I haven't seen anybody getting shot yet, but there's definitely been protests being dispersed via tear gas.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't see anything about people getting hurt. People being
Well,
arrested,
I mean, they got
all
shot
that
with
kind of
like
stuff.
rubber bullet type of thing in the
Right,
eye. It wasn't with
right,
a real bullet.
right.
um, but either way, this person, what I read, this person was definitely hurt, and hopefully they don't lose their eye or something horrible like that.
Yeah, for sure. No, I don't see anything really. Yeah,
Yeah,
Indianapolis is under curfew.
yeah.
No, nobody shot in the eye though that I can see, unless they're just not reporting that.
Well,
I mean,
of course.
I've seen like
Yeah.
stories similar to that about someone getting hit in the eye. I didn't see where she was though, so I've seen that. I just don't know
Okay.
where she was.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
but
and just
that's
gassing kids and come on, man, everywhere, not just Fort Wayne. Like
yeah,
we're burning stuff. Why ruin
and it
or
sucks, man, that these people like these outside or I don't even know if they're outside, just agitators that come
hmm
in
hmm
and just start like
right?
like
And they've
fucking
been
shit
around,
up, man, and like making everybody look bad.
and they've been around since Occupy. Remember Occupy when they were coming around starting the fights, and,
Yep.
and the proof came out later. Who they're trying to start the fights so that the police can use force. Now, I'm a fan of police. I think police do a do a good job. I don't think they should be hurt. I don't like hateful police,
Right.
but they shouldn't be hurt. And everyone is not created equal. So they're just trying to keep people safe. And when it gets violent, they take it out on the people. And that's not what we want. Remember Martin Luther King's words.
Right. A lot of times though, it just doesn't help like keep things calm when they come out with all their gear on and full force. Like just they're just asking for escalations when they do that. It's just people are trying to protest, but they come out with all their riot gear and their guns and their sticks,
Hmm.
and that's not helping the situation. Like if they would just let people protest and not have to try to control it, like I think it'd be a lot better. And I agree, for the most part about cops just doing their jobs. Obviously, there are some bad ones out there, just like with any group you can find. But I think one things that the police need to do better is just condemning their own when these, because a lot of times when these things happen and their officers do the like kill these people, they stand behind these officers like they did nothing wrong. They were just doing their job, and some of these people are going too far with it.
Yeah.
And I think they need to do a better job with like policing within their own ranks.
Well, here's my thing. Hold everyone accountable. So in Minnesota's case, they had four people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, one of them was the main guy. Okay, all other, all three of the other guys need to be charged pretty much equally to the main guy.
Right.
If that happened all over, it, it, it would it would definitely create um, accountability for other officers. Now, in the Minnesota case, the guy wasn't he didn't have a weapon. He didn't have it. He wasn't resisting. So,
Mm-hmm.
in my eyes, that just seems like they were being hateful people,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Absolutely.
or they had a vendetta against the specific guy, and none of that should stand. And he does
No.
deserve justice, and I believe in peaceful protesting.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, don't get hurt out there, but make your voice heard.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Just express your anger all you want. I think obviously you have a right to your emotions and how you feel, and just do it though in a way that doesn't infringe on other people's rights. It's kind of always been my thing, is like you can express your rights, just don't, just up until the point where you start stepping on other people's rights. Like these businesses that are getting burned to the ground, they had no part of this. Why are they suffering for that? Because some other people want to come in and start shit. People who, honest business owners are losing their livelihood because of other people who can't handle their shit, basically.
Well, they have a right to be angry,
Right.
and it's not just one color out there; it's everyone. And
Right.
it is a powerful movement right now, and they are being heard. Um, and
Yeah, they
Malcolm
are.
X was on that side of you need to start shit to make yourself heard. And I lean more to the side of turn the other cheek. But
Right.
don't put yourself in harm like that. We need to
No.
find a way to be peaceful. And if there are people out there that are creating violence, maybe those are the people that need to go to jail.
Right.
So, however, we can help the cops get those people in jail, that seems like the best thing we can do.
Right. And then just the main thing is just to apply the law equally across the board to everybody,
Hmm.
like regardless of where you come from, what you look like, what your skin color is, all those things. Like it needs to be equal across the board for everybody. So yeah, those police officers need to be held accountable for sure. The guy has already been charged with murder. He needs to be convicted,
Hmm.
and he needs to serve the time or do whatever comes with a third degree murder charge. I don't know what sentences come with that, but like this is one thing that he needs to be held accountable for. They need to be held accountable for, because if they don't, and they think things are bad now, if they don't hold that guy accountable, things have just only begun.
Right, and they've
And
already he's already in jail, I believe.
right, he's in jail, but he hasn't been. He's been charged, but he hasn't been sentenced. Like he has
Right,
to be convicted first,
true. Yeah,
and that's where a lot of the cops
and
get off, is
the
they
other
get to
three,
the convicting parts. Huh?
and the other three,
Right, them too. Yeah, all of them.
because if you tell me, all right, so if you're kids and all four of you break into a house and uh, but only one gets caught, uh, that all four of you didn't do the thing. You're all guilty. You all did it,
Right.
and they did all get caught. They were all there. Uh,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
if you're not,
They all got fired too.
yeah,
So you fired them. Why aren't you charging them? Why aren't they being arrested too?
yeah, and if you're not going to be the guy that steps up and says, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't hurt this person. You're really hurting him. He can't breathe." That's not right.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one.
That's what I'm saying. Like that blind loyalty, like the blind like
Mm,
backup is
I see
just
what you're saying.
it's just a lot of it's what's causing a lot of the issues, because nobody wants to hold their fellow officers accountable. Like yeah, at some point you need to.
Well,
Like any other profession does that. Like I see if someone says
mm,
someone else, like if a teacher like it gets discovered this teacher's a pedophile, the other teachers come out and like, oh, that's disgusting. They should, get that person out of here. We don't want them anywhere near us or
right.
associated with the profession of being a teacher. Like get them out. Like it should be that same level, like that same standard for
Yeah, it should be
anybody.
like, "Oh my God, you're a hateful person. Get get away from here."
Right.
You know, like I don't want to be, because look what happened. One group of four men created mass riots and looting and craziness.
Yeah.
One, but it's not. That's the thing. It's not the one person. That was just the one that was caught. It happened
Right.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And and to me, it isn't about color, but um, that's not for me to um, judge.
Sure. Fair enough.
Yeah. But I love everyone, and I hope everyone is safe, whatever they're doing. And
Yeah, but this has been one hell of a year, man.
yeah,
And it's only June, so who God knows what's coming up for the rest of the year.
well,
Hopefully, we can get through it and we come out stronger and better as people and as a society, and we learn from all this shit going on, and we can grow. And I don't know, man, just at some point there has to be something else.
I think we're already growing. I think this is why we're all expressing ourselves, and it's coming out. And,
Yeah.
it's finally, the realness is coming out in everyone, I feel. Mm, but who am I to say?
Yeah, it could be something like that. It just, I just keep thinking like how it's crazy that this year's been so like not like just bad. Like I mean, by all accounts, it's not been a good year like at large for
Uh,
people. For individuals, I mean, probably some people are having better years than others. Like I don't know, like me, I'm
yeah,
actually having kind of a good decent year.
I think
We just got
it's
we just got like a bunch of new stuff in my house, and it's just I don't know.
yeah, it's making me keep remembering the year of the rat,
Yeah,
and it's like, I guess this is just the time that all things are connecting for me, uh, and it's also your mindset, and um,
true.
but we've worked so hard to better our lives throughout the years. So it's paying off. And
Yeah. We just like because we have like we painted our my wife painted the kitchen. We got our backsplash finally put up in the kitchen,
nice.
and we just got like a new we got a new dishwasher and a new microwave. I got a new job.
Microwave.
Yeah, microwave.
Put a plant by that. Tell me your get back to me on that. Anyway, you got a
I don't
new
know.
job.
It's like this brand new dishwasher, like super expensive.
Ooh,
It was gifted to us.
nice.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It has like a separate rack just for the utensils.
Well, props to whoever gave that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Out.
Shout out to that person.
Yeah.
It's like stuff I've never had. Like I've never had a brand new dishwasher my entire life. Like, it's always been whatever came with
Wow.
the place I'm living. And this thing is, and I'm on in the market for getting a new car. So I mean,
Heck yeah.
I don't know. Like I almost feel bad kind of because there's always people having just shitty years.
Oh, don't do
And
that.
I'm sitting here like I'm having a great year.
No, that's a issue. That's a worthiness thing, and you're always worthy.
Right, but I don't feel that bad because I have I don't feel that because I remind myself that before this year, like my years were just terrible and all these people are having great years. I'm like, oh well, now it's my turn.
Yeah,
right.
The page is.
It's like it's all this whatever I've been doing is paying off and my hard work and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I almost feel bad, but then I remind myself and then I don't feel bad. Okay. So I'm good. Like I'm good with what's going on. I mean, it sucks. It sucks for like a lot of people right now. So I feel bad for all of them and how they're having to deal with that.
Yeah,
but I don't feel bad for the way my life is happening. So I'll put it that way.
I agree.
I think that's fair, right?
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Very composure.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like an insensitive asshole because I know people are dying and all that stuff, but that sucks. Like I feel bad for that, but my personally,
you can't be sick enough to help sick people.
Right.
So it's not going to help anyone for you to be as sick as them. So you totally understand.
Right.
You have to be that hand that they can reach out to when they need the help, and you have to be strong yourself to be able to help anyone else. So,
right. Yeah. It's like
that's what you're.
A drowning person can't help a drowning person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking of Titanic, but I didn't. Right.
Yeah.
Save yourself. You have to. You have to be sound in yourself to be able to really help these people the way they need it. Yeah, that's true. My belief.
For sure, man. Dang. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of unrest. But I think the way we can view it is just it's a lot of change. Things are changing. People are waking up. People are realizing where their power lies. And I think, you can kind of you can probably turn a lot of this into a positive just for, being able to continue going on. Just look at everything differently.
Yeah, well,
try to find the power.
Eventually they will, or I will, you will. Eventually we will. We'll get over that, that hump and figure out, oh, this is why we had to deal with that to learn that lesson, so we never let that happen again. And if we can get to that point instead of creating violence or hurting anyone else, I think we'd be much better off.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So again, it was really awesome having Andy Debernardi on today. Being able to talk to him, and like we mentioned that towards the end there, I will definitely put his contact information, like he asked or told us about, into the description of the podcast, and we'll also post it on our Facebook page so everybody can see that. So And I'll also post a link to his Facebook page, so you guys can see his work, and just kind of maybe find him that way. And just, if you like his stuff, you can get a hold of him, get a print, stuff like that. So we'll definitely share that with everybody.
Yeah, yeah, and I really feel like his work ties into what's going on in society so well, because someone once told me that ayahuasca is coming from the rainforest and reaching out to America because it knows that America needs help, and that was very deep to me. And um, yeah, so do your research and um, just just do it if it feels right. Um, Next week we will have Najib Alami, and we will be talking about how mountains can be our medicine. So we're super excited to talk to him. And thank you so much. Be well.
Yep. Thanks everybody for joining us again for another week. Hope you have you back next week. And until then, stay safe, stay well. We love you all.
Mwah.